Hello everyone and welcome to the next in our series of Daily Origami for YouTube. Today we're going to finish up our little short series of snow-themed origami for the holidays, and I thought we would make a snowflake. Now there are a lot of different variations of snowflakes, and of course a lot of these actually are kirigami, or where you cut patterns out of paper, but this is the one that you actually fold. It is pretty difficult, so I wouldn't recommend it for younger kids, but if you have a little patience, you can make really pretty snowflakes. And if you use like a more translucent paper, the effect is really pretty. I'm going to use a more obvious color here so it's a little easier to see. We're going to use blue. Now, the first thing you do need to do is you do need to prepare your paper first as a hexagon. And so what we need to do first is I need to do that. So I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to try to find just the center crosshairs of this paper. Kind of lightly folding creases in here. These creases don't need to be very strong. Once I have those cross creases, I'm going to take this top right corner and I want to find a crease here that goes all the way to the center. And again, this crease can be very light as well. And then the main thing we're looking for is that we're going to take, using that center crease I just made, take this outer edge and fold down. And make that crease pretty clear, and then go ahead and open up. What we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold in half on that crease I just made, keeping these creases that I just made up here on the top right corner exposed. What we're going to do is we're going to use where this crease hit up here at the top as our guideline. So that's the place where I want one of my edges of my fold to be. And then the next point of reference will be the center down here. So if I follow those as guidelines here for my fold, and then turn it over and do the same kind of thing. Bring that corner over. If you did it properly, everything should line up fairly, almost exact. And then what we want to do is we're going to cut a straight line across here at the top. Sometimes this is tricky to get perfect. You want to try your best to get a nice straight cut along the top here. Now that you have your good piece of hexagon paper, what we want to do is we're going to start with our color side. You need to decide if you want, the color side facing up or not. I'm going to keep it up, so we'll wind up with a really, I'm going to use that as my base, so I'll put that down. And that'll be just a guideline for as we're making the folds to see the folds a little better. What we want to do is we're going to put some creases in our paper here that bring these edges to the center. So I'll get some good creases here. Do this for all 6 sides. Once you got all those creases made, then what we're going to do is we're going to just be folding these in and over to try to bring all these sides inwards. So the easiest way is to start by bringing this bottom crease up to the center, and then I'm going to try to push this side in too, and I'm going to keep this tab from going inwards. I don't want it to be tucked underneath. I want it to just stick out so that you'll have this exposed flap laying flat on this outside. And then we'll just turn around and keep doing that for all these sides. Again, making sure to bring that flap out so it can rest on top and not tucking underneath. And in the end, we should get some nice little pinwheel in the middle. The last fold, of course, is a little tricky. You want to pull up everything a little gently as you do this so that we can get something that looks like this. Now, in each one of these little flaps that you see here, what I want to do is I want to create a crease right here down the center. So I'm going to fold this flap over and get a nice crease here in the center, and then I'm going to go ahead and open that pocket, and using that crease as a guideline, press down to expose a nice little kite shape here. And then for this, we're going to just fold these edges into the center. Get those creases, and then open up this flap. And smooth everything out so you get these little kite flaps exposed here. And I'm going to do that for the other 5 sides. When you're finished, you should have something that looks like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn everything over, and I'm going to create some creases. If I push my paper down here and you have one of the tips of one of the points of the hexagon facing upwards, I want to create a crease that goes from this point here to this point here. So we're just going to be folding down to the center, creating a nice crease here. And once I have that crease, I'm going to go back and turn it around and do this for all 6 sides. Now that we have all those creases, what we want to do is we're going to be folding down along those creases, and as we turn around, we want to just keep folding, and you're going to see this little tip thingy stick up. Just let that lay flat and keep going around, letting those exposed flaps stick out. You should have something then that looks like this. What we're going to do is take one of these tips and we're going to fold this over to get a little crease here, and then we're going to open that up and squish it down so that you get this exposed piece here. We'll do that for all these sides. Now you should have something that looks like this. Now what we want to do is we want to actually reverse fold what we've just done and tuck this underneath to hide it. So the easiest way to do that is to hold open these 2 flaps and make those flat folds that were valley folds, mountain folds. Just reverse everything so that this becomes tucked underneath. And when it lays flat, you'll notice here that that disappears underneath these 2 flaps, like so. We're going to go around and do that for all these other sides. You want to make sure that you're keeping this little piece of triangle here, though, flat in the middle and not just pushing it to one side or the other. So you should still be able to see that crease there of the middle of that triangle right in the center there between these 2 flaps. So go ahead and do that for all these. And as you work, you know, the other side might pop out, so don't be discouraged. Just get the creases right first, and then worry about going through and smoothing everything out properly later. So in the end, you should have something that looks like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn this project over, and I want to gently take these flaps that you see here and push them up as far as I can. Get a good crease here. You do that for all the other 5 sides. So you should now have a total of 12 little tabs sticking out here on this side. And then we're going to turn it over again. As I pick this up, you'll notice here I've got these 2 flaps here, then with the back flap hiding behind it. If I gently pull open these 2, you'll notice I could bring this little bit of flap from being tucked behind to being allowed to rest in the front. And I want to do that so that you can see this little bit here resting on top then instead of hiding behind. So I want to go ahead and go around and do that, just gently tugging on that and bringing it up front and letting the crease lay flat. Do that for all of these sides here. Looking at it like so with these 2 diamonds facing up and a little bit of this tub facing out here, I want to open up this pocket and smush it down flat. And the key to this is right here on this side, for example on the right side first. I'm going to bring the edge of this part here to the center crease that you see on the diamond. So if I just gently create a crease here, like so, and then I want to also create a center crease on this tab that's hiding in the back by pushing this flap out as well, like so. And then I want to just let this part go ahead and lay flat. So if I push all that down, you should have something that looks like this. And then I'm just going to repeat those steps on this side. So again, bringing the edge of that diamond to the center crease. So that when you smush everything down, you should have something that looks like this. And I want to repeat that for all these sides. By the time you're finished, you should have something that looks like this. And that is our completed snowflake. And like I said, if you use like a nice translucent piece of paper, you can get really nice results, especially if you hang it on a window display. These are really time-consuming, but the result is very beautiful. And that is our finished project for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.